I'm HG Tudor. As part of helping you understand the narcissistic dynamic that takes place between the narcissist and various victims, chief of which, of course, is the intimate partner primary source, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, I created the excellent mini-series, the Sussex series, which takes you through the various permutations of what will happen, underline will happen, with regard to Harry and Harry's wife if she disengages, if he escapes, or if they stay together. One of those three outcomes will occur, and I've taken you through the detail of that. Not only will it help you understand precisely what's going to go on in their relationship, but it's shed so much light for many of you, as I've noted from the comments and emails that I've received, about the dynamic itself. As you know, Harry is in the sustained devaluation. When a narcissist ensnares a victim who becomes the intimate partner primary source, we create the golden period, or sometimes a bronze period. If you want to understand more about what those are, oddly enough, I have videos that describe them in detail for you. Just search for the relevant phrases. With the golden period, we give you everything that causes you to believe that you've found your one true love, the most important person in the world, who likes all the things that you like, dislikes things that you dislike, shares hobbies, interests, moral outlook, gives you great sex, blows your mind as well as other things, and so forth. We're often extremely quick to introduce you to family and friends and wanting to meet your family and friends quickly also. But this golden period never, ever lasts when you're the intimate partner primary source. Devaluation always follows, and it's been the same for Prince Harry. Ensnared by a narcissist, he has found himself placed within the sustained devaluation. That means that he would be subjected to such things as silent treatments, both in terms of not talking to him in his presence, or just simply disappearing so that he doesn't know where Harry's wife has gone. Being insulted, triangulated. Trevor wouldn't have spoke to me this way. Corey would have done this instead. Corey chops with carrots far better than you do. Calling him names, bringing up the past and use it against him, bringing his vulnerabilities up against him, shouting at him, possibly mild physical violence also. There are lots of different forms of devaluing behaviours that take place, and Harry will have received numerous of them. It also shows, of course, in his demeanour. He looks downhearted. He looks browbeaten. He looks dishevelled and exhausted. And this, of course, is very common for the intimate partner primary source victim of the narcissist. There's more information, however, that comes from International Business Times. And as always, I leave it for you to determine the veracity of this information. I simply use it to explain more about narcissism for you. It's another article by Tanya Diente, headed, Prince Harry packs his bags amid alleged fights with Harry's wife. Prince Harry and Harry's wife have allegedly been engaged in disagreements over their Netflix docuseries that would sometimes end with the Duke taking time off for himself. Women's Day NZ, in its November the 7th issue, claimed the couple has been embroiled in several disagreements over their upcoming projects that would result in the 38-year-old packing his bags and taking off for a few days. Now, of course, these disagreements are, in all likelihood, about the material in the docu-series, but also it's symptomatic of the sustained devaluation, whereby she might be picking things, or rather her narcissism is picking things, which are fairly trivial, but using them to argue with Prince Harry in order to devalue him. And he's thinking, what are you making a big song and dance about this for? Those of you that have been ensnared by narcissists will recognise this propensity of the narcissist to make a mountain out of the molehill, that the smallest thing causes the narcissist to erupt, and you think, well, okay, you're a bit unhappy about this, but your response is completely disproportionate to it. Nobody's injured, nobody's died, nobody's house has burned down. Why on earth are you getting so worked up about it? But the point is, it isn't the thing itself, it's what it represents. The threat to control. So, for instance, Harry, whilst painted black, might have made a sensible suggestion with regard to something related to the Netflix docuseries, maybe suggesting that they change something, or that a voiceover be altered or such like. It might, to anybody else's ears, be a sensible and constructive suggestion that most people would go along with, but Harry's wife won't. He's painted black, and therefore whatever he has to say is tainted. And therefore, no matter how sensible his suggestion, it's tainted, and thus amounts to a threat to control, because he's effectively telling her how things should be. It's challenge fuel, threatens her sense of control, and she therefore responds by blowing up at him, engaging in an argument, being dismissive, whatever form it takes. If this information is correct, it is interesting that rather than try and placate her and appease her, which is what most victims do, at least initially with the narcissist, okay, calm down, let's talk about this. Oh, I'm sorry I've upset you. I didn't realise you felt so strongly about this. Why are you getting so worked up? I didn't realise that you were so sensitive to this factor. Or, goodness me, there's no need to blow up like this. All I did was suggest. Invariably, the victim, not knowing what they're dealing with, and driven by their empathic traits of the desire to fix and to heal, and their truth-seeker trait, tries to resolve the situation. They think, well, if I just explain to them what my position is, they'll accept it. That, of course, is a fatal error on the part of the victim. You're expecting the narcissist to see the world in the way that you do. It's an understandable mistake, but it's a mistake nevertheless. The narcissist does not, when it comes to the lens of control, see the world in the same way that you do. And at first, as I've mentioned, the victim invariably tries to placate matters, but over time, simply sick to the back teeth of how they're treated, it's often easier for the victim to back away. Of course, in so doing, this can cause wounding to the narcissist, which may result in an avalanche of text messages, emails, telephone calls, all designed to assert control and lambast that traitorous and treacherous intimate partner primary source for taking off for a few days. The article continues. It's claimed that the Duke of Sussex argued with his wife over the changes made to their Netflix docuseries. There are details there that allegedly do not add up, alongside his upcoming memoir, Spare. Well, that's hardly a surprise, is it, given the fact that Harry's wife has a fluid relationship with the truth. A source for the publication said, "Word is, he blames Harry's wife for going off the plan and saying too much of her own truth in the docuseries. And as he learned from how their Oprah interview was picked apart, her truth isn't always the truth." The insider added that Prince Harry has every right to be annoyed. They've been working on this rollout of their projects for years, and now there's a real risk of the Netflix series falling apart, just like her children's series Pearl did earlier this year. And given their California house is mortgaged to the hilt, they need the money. The magazine further claimed that all is not well in the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's marriage, which is correct. Even without this information, we know it would not be, because she's a narcissist, and therefore it's never a well marriage, and cited instances that allegedly prove this. This includes his appearance at a Masters of Scales summit in San Francisco in October. Another source said that Prince Harry showed up without Harry's wife and didn't even mention her at all, which is uncharacteristic of him. Usually, they can't wait to heap praise on each other in a public setting. It is claimed that he was in no rush to get back home to Monty Shit Show and stuck around the Bay Area as long as he could. Then, later in November, Harry's wife will reportedly attend a women's conference on her own in Indianapolis. The sort of things Harry and Harry's wife have been and will be doing over the next couple of months are very intense. Cracks would show even in the most solid of marriages, the insider said. Of course, there's a difference between being under pressure, which is what many marriages face as a consequence of the vagaries of the world, and an abusive relationship which involves a narcissist. Rumours abound about their marriage, the state of it, but as I've explained, he's in sustained devaluation. He's being badly treated. There's no doubt about that. That's what happens when you're with a narcissist. And we've seen evidence of it. And of course, the fact that he might be going and spending some time away from her is a response whereby he has got to the point of sick and tired of being around her and therefore backs off for a period of time. Of course, whilst that will wound her, her narcissism will deal with it, and then she'll focus on other matters, him effectively disappearing off the radar for a short period of time, and therefore she focuses on the things that matter to her, driven, again, by her narcissism. I've set out for you, of course, in the Sussex series where this might go to, and therefore, if you haven't accessed it already, I would recommend that you do so that you can factor in this type of information from the International Business Times with what I have predicted vis-a-vis the various routes that exist for their ongoing relationship. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.